Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories. Former Deputy President David Mabuza has died. Mabuza served as the country's second in command from 2018 to 2023.
JP Mlambo of the Gauteng division is suitable.
The Judicial Service Commission has recommended Gauteng Judge President Dunstan Mlambo to become the next Deputy Chief Justice of South Africa.
Today, the SABC, together with SuperSport and the South African Rugby Union, is proud to confirm a broadcast agreement.
A very good evening to you and welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Beki Mutumomolete and I invite you to stay with us for a comprehensive look at the day's top stories both locally and internationally. Let's get into it. Former Deputy President of South Africa, David Mabuza, has died in a Johannesburg hospital after a prolonged illness. He was 64 years old. Mabuza served as Deputy President from February 2018 to February 2023. He was also the Deputy President of the African National Congress from December 2017 to December 2022 and was previously the Premier of Mpumalanga from 2009 to 2018.
David Dabete Mabuza, affectionately known as Didi Mabuza, while others prefer to call him the Cat. Mabuza was born in 1960 and calls Mpumalanga his home province. His love for politics was ignited after being exposed to the Black Consciousness movement when he was still a student. He started his career in the classroom as a teacher and later became a principal. He was also the chairperson of the South African Democratic Teachers Union. Post-1994, Mabuza became the MEC for Education in Mpumalanga and had occupied the office for 4 years when the scandal broke about the 1998 matric results. He made a comeback the following year in 1999, this time as MEC for Housing. This paved the way for him to be at the helm of the ANC in Mpumalanga province. He was elected as the provincial chairperson of the party in Mpumalanga from 2008 to 2017.
Why can't unity be the winning position? Unity is the winning position.
Throughout his tenure as chairperson of the ANC in Mpumalanga, he increased the size and influence of the ANC in the province. But his dominance in the party came when he partnered with Northwest then chairperson Supra Mahumapelo and the then Free State chairperson and Premier Ace Magashule. The three would become known as the Premier League, a grouping known to be closely associated with former President Jacob Zuma. The Premier League was also instrumental in and endorsed Zuma for re-election to the ANC presidency ahead of the party's 53rd National Conference. During the 54th National Conference, the three were seen as kingmakers, but Mabuza broke ranks with the Premier League. He encouraged delegates to vote for unity in the party, which saw Cyril Ramaphosa emerging victorious.
Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa as the new president of the African National Congress.
The unity campaign also worked in his favor, as it saw him ascending from the chairperson position in Mpumalanga to deputy president of the ANC and the country.
Comrade David Mabuza is the new deputy president of the African National Congress.
But at the 55th National Conference of the party, it all came tumbling down. Mabuza was ousted by now Deputy President of the party Paul Mashatile after he had refused a nomination from the floor. Mabuza has served as Deputy President of the party for one term. Amongst the highlights of his time in office was being Special Envoy to South Sudan. After he lost his position as Deputy President of the party at the ANC's December conference, there was much speculation on his future. But on the sideline of a funeral in Mpumalanga, David Mabuza confirmed that he had tendered his resignation to President Ramaphosa. Ntantla Khatlani, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Paying tribute to Mabuza, President Cyril Ramaphosa has described the former deputy president as a leader who was grounded in activism.
Ramaphosa is saddened today by the loss of a leader who was grounded in activism at the early stages of his political career and who came to lead our nation and shape South Africa's engagements with our continental compatriots and the international community in his role as Deputy President. Deputy President deserves our appreciation for his deep commitment to the liberation struggle and to the nation's development as an inclusive, prosperous, democratic state.
Still on the story, political party leaders are also conveying their condolences.
President, this is the son of the people of Mpumalanga who rose from within the ranks of the student movement, going on to also become one of the founding chairpersons of the South African Democratic Teachers Union when it was formed as the first democratic union that was meant to be permanent after Mabuza.
Sad news. He's been a man who the ANC, I believe, also held in high esteem, particularly with the role that he played in the ushering in of the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, at the elective conference.
I think it's on the sad note that we send our deep condolences certainly to the Mabuza family, to, of course, the former deputy president was premier in Mpumalanga and served that in that capacity, and so to the province and largely to his political party, the ANC. We send our deepest condolences and very conscious of this very moment in our nation, as it feels as though there's a transition from one generation of leaders to another.
When we received the news, the sad news of the passing of the former deputy president of the Republic, we're just preparing to go to the budget vote debate. And I would like, on behalf of Rise Mzansi, to convey our condolences to the Mabuza family first, to the ANC, his organization, the people of Mpumalanga.
The Judicial Service Commission has recommended Gauteng Judge President Dunstan Mlambo to become the next Deputy Chief Justice of South Africa. Yesterday, the JSC interviewed Mlambo and Northern Cape Judge President Pule Tlaletsi for the position. Today, Free State Judge President Cagney Musi was in the hot seat before the panel.
It's now in the hands of President Ramaphosa. The Judicial Service Commission is done interviewing the three candidates for the position of Deputy Chief Justice.
The JSC has decided to advise the President that J.P. Mlambo of the Gauteng Division is suitable for appointment as Deputy Chief Justice.
On Wednesday, the JSC interviewed two candidates, Mlambo and Northern Cape Judge President Pule Tlaletsi. Tlaletsi was grilled over his stance on sexual harassment policies within his division.
Been assured that there is that problem, and I do accept that there is that problem. What I was trying to put forward was that I personally have not come across a specific case that I had to deal with. But if the sketch is there, I do accept.
Now that the JSC has made up its mind, it will submit its decision to the President, including reports on the candidates who had failed to impress the panel. The position of Deputy Chief Justice has been vacant since Maya assumed the Chief Justice position last year. Ntantla Khatlani, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The Umkhonto Wesizwe Party says it's all guns blazing from here on. Parliamentary leader Dr. John Hlophe and the party's chief whip, Colleen Makubele, briefed the media in Parliament to update changes aimed at strengthening the party's performance.
The party says with all their seats filled, they are ready to fire on all cylinders. They've announced what they call portfolio leaders that will represent the party in committees. and that there is a plan to instill discipline and order in the caucus.
I see no reason why the redeployment, the fact that Commander Nhlamulo Ndlela is no longer a whip, I see no reason why it should be headlines. It doesn't indicate that the party is falling apart. We have been here. I've been here in Parliament, leading this Parliament caucus for a year now. It's just over a year. The party is not falling apart.
Hlophe says reports doing the rounds of a petition to remove the new chief whip, Colleen Makubele, are untrue. Makubele has been in the position for just over a month after taking over from Zwanele Manyi. According to the leaked correspondence, Makubele has been described as weak and a political novice.
It has created a shock in our caucus. It has dented our image as a caucus, and that's what we want to work to restore right now and to ensure that something like this never ever happens again in the manner that it has happened. It is regrettable indeed.
Makubele is the party's third chief whip since the start of the 7th administration. Zelene Merrington, SABC News, Parliament.
Welcome back. An expert witness appearing before the Judicial Conduct Tribunal has identified 2 emojis used in the electronic communication between Judge's Secretary Andy Swamengo and Eastern Cape Judge President Cyril that carried a sexual connotation as understood by Mengo beyond ascribed official meaning. This as the tribunal saw Mbenenge call his second witness to the stand, ICT expert Dr. Vincent Millo. The following content may upset sensitive viewers.
The landmark sexual harassment probe against Eastern Cape Judge President Cyril Mbenenge has heard that over 90% of the emojis used by Mbenenge and Judge's Secretary Andiso Mengo were consistent with the Unicode, except for 2, the eggplant and the peach emoji.
Dr. Milo, you said in terms of the meaning of Emojipedia, a peach would represent what? A peach.
A peach would represent bum.
A bum. And a eggplant?
Eggplant, a male private part.
Thank you.
However, I did highlight that Emojipedia further explains that the usage of it there was a campaign to have it banned in that context.
Dr. Melo was further probed on the allegation that Judge President Mbenenge sent a sexually explicit photo to Mengo.
The image does not indicate, cannot be confirmed if it was from a WhatsApp, since it's not consistent with the WhatsApp template or format that I was referring to.
The cross-examination continues. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The City of Johannesburg Council has re-elected Margaret Arnold as the Speaker of Council. The IAC candidate was elected by 137 votes. She was nominated alongside the Democratic Alliance's Alex Christians, who received 68 votes. And the UDM's Yonga Mazingela received 5 votes. The position became vacant after Action SA's Nobuhle Mthembu was ousted in vote of no confidence. Margaret Arnold was able to reclaim the position with the backing of the ANC and some minority parties. But the ATM and Al Jamaa broke rank and nominated a UDM candidate. However, the largest party in the government of local unity in Johannesburg, the ANC, remained confident that Arnold would be ultimately elected. Arnold's position as Finance MMC has become vacant, and the mayor is expected to give an update on who will replace Arnold as Finance MMC. Following ongoing water and electricity challenges that have crippled service delivery in the city of Tshwane, residents might soon benefit from a new one-stop unit aimed at simplifying the management of vital services in the capital city. The newly implemented ring-fence business units will function as centralized operational models designed to improve efficiency, accountability, and financial sustainability.
Briefing the media in Pretoria, the Tshwane City Manager Johan Metler says the reforms were officially implemented from the 1st of this month.
This groundbreaking approach will improve efficiency in managing electricity and water and sanitation operations, and the ring-fenced revenue will be redirected towards improving and conducting regular maintenance of infrastructure to ensure their durability.
The innovative business unit will also ensure better oversight and might help to expose corrupt activity.
We will be compelled to draw up annual financial statements that will reflect the profitability of that business unit.
But everything that impacts on this value chain will have some accountability and some standards set.
We are then able to direct resources within the department to be able to deal with issues of service delivery and actually reduce the turnaround times and be able to deliver on services.
Following an avalanche of complaints over irregular bills, Metler says this might help improve the integrity of Tshwane's billing system.
We have improved on our tax administration system. So making sure that all of our meters are not only in place but are also recording correctly and recording into the system.
Patricia Fasahi, SABC News in Pretoria.
The bail application of 12 SANDF Special Task Force members and a company has been adjourned to tomorrow at the Randburg Magistrates Court in Johannesburg. This is for the verification of the address of one of the accused. The group is facing charges related to the 2023 murder of Hawk Specialist Investigator Lieutenant Colonel Frans Matipa. They are also facing charges relating to the alleged kidnapping of Abdullah Hussein Abadiga and Kadi Jamal Abotese at the Mall of Africa on 29 December 2022. Matipa was investigating the disappearance of Abadiga when he was gunned down while driving on the N1 near Hammanskraal in August 2023. The National Prosecuting Authority says Lieutenant Colonel Frans Matipa was following up on a lead into kidnapping syndicate operated by some SANDF members. Thank you for staying with us. Somali Foreign Affairs Minister Abdisalam Abdi Ali says they are making progress in rooting out the elements of terror group Al-Shabaab. He says Mogadishu is safe and investors are flocking into the Horn of Africa. Abdi Ali presided over the 65th Independence Day of Somalia.
A momentous occasion as Somalia marks 65 years of independence. But it hasn't been an easy journey for Mogadishu after battling some time with terror groups like Al-Shabaab that caused untold suffering.
Our government has really succeeded to push them back, and we have many areas that we have liberated for the last 3 years. Mogadishu is safe. We have more embassies in Mogadishu than any time in the history, and the Somali people and the Somali community are striving on the right direction.
South Africa says it will always support Somalia's quest for long-lasting peace.
We would like to wish the Somalian people well in ensuring that even Al-Shabaab comes to the table and starts talking peace.
Kylie Kumalo, SABC News, Pretoria.
It's been a chilly past few days and our weather team has the scoop. Let's cross over and see what's brewing in our southern skies. Coming up next.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country. We start looking at tonight's conditions when we have that cold front that's sitting over the interior of the Eastern Cape, stretching all the way towards Free State. We also have an upper support where the trough that's sitting over the interior of the Northern Cape. We do expect up to 60% chance of showers and thunder showers as we move toward the central parts of the country, becoming widespread as we move into Cape Town for tonight. For tomorrow, a little bit of clearing, especially over the Northern Cape, but we're still expecting yet another cold front over Cape Town, still causing widespread showers and thunder showers, so persistent rainfall over the mother city stretching into that interior. We're also expecting a 60% chance of showers and rain as we move towards Mpumalanga, stretching all the way into Free State and also into that interior of KwaZulu-Natal. Gauteng, some rainfall for tomorrow, although it's just isolated over that province. Looking at our warnings, we're still expecting a level 4 warning of disrupted rainfall, which will lead to flooding, damage to property, and also some difficult driving conditions expected over that interior. Moving toward the central parts of the country, it is a level 2 warning of damaging winds, interior winds. So gust wind is expected over those areas. We talk wind speed of up to 60 kilometers per hour, can gust up to 70 kilometers per hour. We are expecting a level 2 warning of severe thunderstorm over the northern interior. of the Eastern Cape. Remember, possibilities of lightning becomes high over that interior. And also for tonight and tomorrow, snowfalls over places such as Maletswai and Komani stretching into Free State, meaning that some passes can be closed, and also traffic can be disrupted because of icy roads. We're also expecting a level 2 warning of damaging waves as we move towards the coast over the Eastern Cape, and also level 2 warning of damaging winds over that coast, meaning that possibilities of difficulty to navigate at sea becomes high. Morning fog patches are expected as we move towards the Northern Cape, stretching into parts of the Western Cape, which means that visibility will be reduced. Now for tonight, it is quite freezing as we move into Sunderland with a low of 0.10 over Cape Town. Bloemfontein dropping down to 3, Pretoria at a minimum of 8. Maximum temperatures for tomorrow, chilly conditions over Johannesburg, the high of 16.21 over Polokwane, Durban, expecting high of 20. Cold front coming in over Cape Town, so it will be a chilly day with Cape Town peaking at 50. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.
And that's all for tonight from our news desk. Thank you for joining us. We are back with you again tomorrow evening. So until then, from myself and the team, stay ahead and stay warm. Good night.